As a college coach and an author, one of the biggest questions that I get from students is, Coach Chantel, do I really need a college degree to be successful? And, I remember being in that position and wondering the same exact thing. So it's not that surprising that people still ask, but I know that you're on this video because you really want to know the answer to that question. And I'll say this, the answer is yes and no, okay? Because if you look at history, there are billionaires out here who have made their billions without a college degree. Think about it. You're probably holding an iPhone right now watching this video. Well, the creator of the iPhone, Steve Jobs, didn't graduate from college. Okay, he couldn't even afford to continue his degree, yet he was able to start a billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company. Then you have other tech gurus like Michael Dell, who created the Dell computer. You have Larry Ellison, you have Ralph Lauren, he's a fashion person, but listen, he's a billionaire. And these gentlemen combined are worth over $500 billion. And it's just amazing that you don't have to go to college to be successful, okay? Yet and still, some of you may need to stick in college to be successful, and here's why. If you don't have a clear path and strategy for how you're going to attain your wealth, then college is the safest place to be at for 4 years while you discover that very said thing. What are you going to contribute to the world to earn substantial money, to be successful? Maybe you don't define success as the amount of money that you have, but I bet you this, you need some money to live off of, right? So that in of itself is success. So you decide, do you personally need to go to college to be successful? Reflect on it before you make any rash decisions to quit school, or if you're leaving high school and wanting to debate about going into the real world or going to college. Just decide on what your personality is. Do you work well without being told what to do? Do you have an entrepreneurial spirit? Have you always wanted to start a particular business and you already have funding for it? Do you have a lot of contacts in high places? Those are key points that you should be reflecting on before you decide on whether to leave college or whether to go into college, okay? Because the answer is no, you don't need a college degree to be successful. But some people, yes, you do, because you haven't built up the mental capacity and the work ethic in order to survive in the real world as an entrepreneur. Now, if you don't have a business that you actively are working right now, but you feel that, man, college just is not for me, well, you need to look at other options about maybe buying a franchise, working online, as you saw several of the examples, right, of people who have created their billions. It's been online. So digital information is where it's at. And I'm actually a product of someone who has gone to college, but I realized that I needed to use the internet to get my income. So I use a system that is listed below, and that may be for some of you who want a business that's already done for you, that you can work not only, as a business opportunity out of college, but even if you decide that you are in college and you want some more money. That's just an option. But the worst option or worst position to be in is in a position without any options at all. And school, like I said, is the safest place to be at while you are deciding on what your next move is. So